Hello, I'm a horrible ghoul haunting the sewers of London, and this is Late to the Party, your one-stop shop for Bright Futures and Dungeon Party recaps. You want to watch Bright Futures, but you don't want to watch all the backlog? Then you are in the right place. Today, we are going to be doing recaps of episodes 6 through 10 of the Bright Futures campaign, so strap on in. It's time for our little group to visit the big city in episode 6 of Bright Futures. Brom chaperones all the students except for Tether to the nearby city of Kelshar to look for some real jobs. Seems like being a hero doesn't pay the bills like it used to. Una scores a part-time gig at a magical goods store. Septon becomes a tavern greeter, and Turn achieves guardhood. Shandi, however, thinks he's above such menial things as jobs. Rich boys. The group's next stop is Felfort College to run an errand for Mrs. Lee, but when they get there, they run into none other than Arlith, still sore from his egging. He challenges the group to a game of Blast Ball, the Empire's national pastime, with high stakes. If he and his team wins, the group must become his servants. But if the Bright Future students win, he has to legally change his name to Egg Boy. Let's check in on Tether, shall we? Back at the estate, her work in growing a garden behind the house is interrupted by a group of squirrels who call themselves the Acorn Gang. Tether quickly befriends them and joins their ranks, gaining access to their secret hideout beneath the Hagen Library and learning about their ongoing conflict with the birds of the estate. We don't hang out with birds. Birds suck, dude. We hate birds.
Well, maybe if you talk to the birds.
Birds don't want to talk. Birds can't talk with us. Birds just peck at us, and they fly away with their dumb little wings. Fuck birds, dude. Fuck birds.
If you ever need me to talk to the birds to not bully you, I can.
We're not being bullied by the birds. It's a war. They're not bullying us. We're in a battle against each other. Fuck birds, dude.
So they peck at you, what do you do to them?
Throw rocks at them. When the rest of the students return home, she shows them Turn excluded because of his newfound bird affiliation. Fuck birds, dude! The Acorn Gang's hideout. Once inside, they discover a grotesque statue that doesn't stay inanimate or docile for long. The turmoil below the earth lies forgotten for a moment as episode 7 starts out with something much more important. That's right, Johnson teaching Turn how to play Blast Ball. This moment of athletic bliss is interrupted, however, as Johnson suddenly goes into a trance and starts sprinting towards the Acorn Gang's hideout. Once he gets there, he falls unconscious, allowing Turn to go inside and aid the rest of the students in defeating the statue, which at that very moment transferred from a brute force fighting style to one that was much more tactical. They ensure that Johnson is safe in their dorm before exploring the hideout further. It seems the statue was guarding a door that bore a strange symbol upon it, that opens once every student lays their hand on it. Behind the door is a series of twisted tunnels, and scattered within are signs of Pell and Mel's presence. Turn finds a pair of bright pink cat ears, which he, of course, puts on immediately. Unfortunately, they are cursed and won't come off. For now, though, he seems fine. As fine as a newly minted cat boy can seem. It's lucky ducky where gains a climbing speed equal to their walking speed, takes 1 dice less damage from falling, and has dark vision out to 30 feet. Also a plus 10 to perception checks to notice a boji woji.
You would dare to undermine the actual cat boy in this campaign?
Yes!
With this appropriative bullshit?
I'm gonna pop those bad boys on.
Hey! Turns around, he's got cat ears on. His eyes are now cat. They look like cat eyes.
Oh, so
yeah, you hear Turn say "Hey," and then he comes out around one of the corners. He's wearing pink cat ears.
Hello.
That's fine.
Me. Look what I found.
I don't hate
what's
that.
this?
I don't hate that Turn got it. I hate that Phoenix got it.
Eventually, our heroes stumble upon a cage holding their dear friend Elias, who is barely breathing. They try to break him out, but they hear footsteps quickly approaching them. Fearing the worst, they prepare for a fight. Will our heroes rescue Elias from the cage? Who is coming in the tunnels after them? Isn't there something a little weird about the Bright Futures initiative? All of these questions and more are answered in episode 8. Good news! The footsteps that are approaching are only Kerfley, who claims that he did not know that these tunnels existed before today. He helps them free Elias and returns the students topside, while Tether alone finds another door bearing a very similar symbol to the one that led them into these tunnels in the first place, with 3 indentations in the shape of a moon, a flame, and a face. Back at the dorm, Elias tells the group about his history. He is bonded to a spiritual icy stag that visited him in his dreams about a year ago, and as a result, he resembles it, antlers and all. Fortunately, Pell and Mel began pursuing him not long after his transformation took place. He also received an invitation to the Bright Futures Initiative, but upon arrival found his pursuers waiting for him at the gate, and had to flee again. Despite his distrust in the program, the group decides it's probably in everyone's best interest to tell Captain Sheena about the situation. She promises to take Elias to a safe house and protect him from harm, and she also echoes his concerns that something isn't quite right about the Bright Futures program. But forget about all of that stuff, the students have something much more important to do. They gotta learn how to play blast ball. Johnson trades his guard cap for a coaching one in episode 9. He could have been a blast ball pro if not for a career-ending injury, so it's his responsibility to teach the students how to play the game. Blast ball as a game is fairly simple. You have to keep a series of magical balls in the air and ensure that they hit the ground on the opponent's side of the field. Anything goes as long as no blood is drawn. Sounds pretty fun, right? A quick, successful scrimmage later, the students disperse feeling very confident. Shandi receives a very cold letter from his adoptive father, Lord Althear Resk. Given the excitement at the beginning of this program, Resk expects better of Shandi and reminds him that his life is not his own to do with what he pleases. That afternoon, Septon and Una report to their jobs in Kelshar. Near the end of the night, a bloodied dwarf wearing stag beetle emblazoned armor enters Una's work and asks her to identify a glowing purple crystal. Una's boss, Gilligan, discovers that the crystal is actually a living being, but before he can tell the dwarf this, the dwarf disappears. Una follows him out onto the street and finds him dead, bled out, in the rainy night. Septon's night, too, is far from normal. An older eye patch-wearing man escorting a young girl makes him promise not to tell anyone that they're staying in Kelshar. Moments later, another eye-patch-clad man carrying a bloody, serrated sword asks Septon if he's seen anyone injured that night. After their shifts, Una and Septon exchange stories in one of the staff rooms at the tavern and spend the night there. In the morning, Septon learns from the older eye-patch man that he is a member of a mystical mercenary guild known as the Cryptals, and that the other eye-patch man is probably one too. Septon and Una return home, shaken. Welcome to episode 10, The Big Game. The students spend the week leading up to their big clash with Felfrit College, studying hard, making friends, and exploring the estate. As the game day rolls around, they feel fully prepared to take down the opposing team. Unfortunately, the Felfrit team has been blasting balls for far longer than our heroes, and as if that isn't enough of an edge, they brought illegal counterspell bracelets to the match. This combination spells a hard loss for the home team. In the aftermath, Brahm gives the students a small reprieve. Instead of taking classes next week, they will be heading south on a field trip to do some hands-on hero work. Surely this will help them forget their loss in no time. And that is it for episodes 6 through 10 of the Bright Futures campaign. We stream this campaign at 6 p.m. EST on our Twitch channel if you want to catch it live, and all of the VODs of the old videos are on this very YouTube channel. For now, I've been Sewer Ghoul, this has been Late to the Party, and we will catch you in the next one.